Hi, I'm Dr. Andreas Michaelitis, Chief Psychologist at Noom. But what's Noom and why does Noom need a Chief Psychologist? Noom is a weight loss program that works, with results that last. Because we know that changing the way you eat starts with your mind. With Noom's proven psychology-backed tools, one-on-one coaching, and flexible plans that emphasize progress over perfection, you'll have the tools you need to change your relationship with food. So sign up at Noom.com now and lose the weight for good. That's Noom.com.
This is MuggleCast, episode 25 for January 29th, 2006. This week's show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com, your number one source for all of your internet needs. GoDaddy.com has new domain names, transfers, and renewals for as low as $1.99. Plus, check out their hosting plans, website builders, secure certificates, and much more. Plus, as a MuggleCast listener, enter the code MUGGLE, that's MUGGLE, when you check out and save an additional 10% on any order. Get your piece of the internet today at GoDaddy.com. Also this week, we're very happy to introduce our first ever MuggleCast t-shirts. Be the person that people notice in a good way walking down the street by supporting the show. Our t-shirts come in 2 styles and 3 different clothing types. Regular t-shirts, long sleeve, and women's fitted. Just go to MuggleCast.com and click on Store at the top to order. And with that, let's get on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of MuggleCast. I'm your favorite MuggleNet or MuggleNet Greg, bringing it to you this week.
I'm Andrew Sims.
I'm Ben Shane.
I once was a man named Eric Skull.
I'm Laura Thompson.
And I'm Micah Tenenbaum.
MuggleNet Greg.
Hold on.
MuggleNet, yeah.
MuggleNet Greg. Yeah.
Did I miss my
Hey.
cue here, boys? I apologize.
No, you did fine. Did anyone invite you this week, or was this sort of?
I did get that postcard in the mail the other day.
Oh, right,
He's MuggleNet
right.
Greg. He doesn't need
Right,
an
that's cool.
invitation.
Is
Andrew.
there?
Okay.
He doesn't need an invitation.
All right. Well, if you want to host,
hold on.
just go ahead.
Hold on.
All right.
MuggleNet Greg. Wait a second.
Let me.
MuggleNet Greg sounds an awful lot like someone else.
No, surely you must be mistaken. There's
No, he
only
sounds
one
like MuggleNet Greg.
There's only one
I've heard
Greg.
I've heard MuggleNet Greg on Pottercast. I know he's
But
for real.
who is that guy from Leaky Cauldron on podcast? What's his name?
Kim Blair.
No. What's his other?
They have a
his other
podcast.
name?
When did that happen?
I know it's.
I
some
Muggle?
crap, so don't.
I
I'm
thought there was
confused.
only
There's
one
too many
Harry
Muggles.
Well, there's only one good one.
Yes.
What?
Okay, the jig's up, guys. The jig's up.
The jig's up.
Joining us this week is Pottercast John Noe.
Oh my! You just spilled the beans.
He's MuggleCast pyromaniac. That's his nickname. For those of you who don't know, John almost burned down his dorm last week.
No, that's probably getting a little over-exaggerated there.
Oh, whatever, dude. The fire department had to come. And his windows were burst out. Flames were everywhere.
Only 3 kids jumped from the balcony, but that was not my fault. They
Okay,
overreacted.
guys.
They would have jumped anyway.
Enough chit-chat. Let's go to Micah for the news.
Thanks, Ben. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire has now climbed to number 9 on the list of the highest-grossing films of all time, 1 place behind Chamber of Secrets. The 4th movie has accumulated more than $286 million domestically and over $589 million overseas, bringing its international total to $874.9 million, roughly $2 million behind the second Harry Potter film. Each year, NBC's morning news show asks special guests to sign a coffee table book to sell for charity. The 2005 book includes signatures from Dan Radcliffe and Emma Watson and is currently up for auction on eBay. All proceeds will go to the Lupus Foundation of America. Joe Rowling attended a press conference in the Romanian government's Victoria Palace in Bucharest this past week. At the press conference in Bucharest, Joe spoke about her concerns for the mental and physical well-being of children in Eastern European orphanages. She said there is now widespread agreement among child health experts that irreparable long-term damage is caused to young children who are institutionalized without a parent. Yahoo News reported that during the charity dinner in Bucharest, the Harry Potter author raised €170,000 by auctioning off 6 signed Harry Potter books and purchasing a famous Brazilian footballer shirt. A number of photos from the event can be seen through various sources over on MuggleNet.com. Voting for the 2006 AOL Movie Phone Moviegoer Awards is now open. Nominations are in the areas of Movie of the Year for Goblet of Fire, Actor of the Year Dan Radcliffe, Actress of the Year Emma Watson, Best Scene Stealer Brendan Gleeson, and Vilest Villain Ralph Fiennes. Warner Brothers has announced that the Goblet of Fire DVD will be released on March 20th in Britain. Here in the US, it will hit shelves on March 7th. And it was confirmed earlier this week that Katie Leung, the actress who portrays Cho Chang, will be back for Order of the Phoenix. In book news, the Polish translation of Half-Blood Prince was released to eager fans in 1,000 bookstores across the country yesterday at midnight. The Daily Telegraph has an early preview of what we will be seeing at this year's Book Aid International auction benefiting the poorest countries in the world. J.K. Rowling is one of the authors who are participating in the donation of a special item related to their books. Her item is a handwritten version of the Black Family Tree. The auction will be held in London on February 21st. Finally, be sure to head over to jkrowling.com as the Harry Potter author has updated both her diary and news sections this past week. That's all the news for this January 29th, 2006 edition of MuggleCast. Back to the show.
Thanks, Micah. Now let's go to the announcements. This week we have tons of announcements, right, Andrew? Maybe two.
Yeah, all three of them.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one, Andrew? Do you want to do an announcement?
I want
okay.
Eric to do one.
MuggleNet Greg, hold up for a second. First of all, guys, I have a bone to pick with you. What's going on? Joe Vitale beating us on Podcast Alley? What is up with this? I mean, who is Joe Vitale?
I happen to like Joe Vitale. He's this guy who commentates on sports.
No, that's Dick Vitale.
Yeah.
That's Dick Vitale.
No.
It's like, I smell Upset City, baby.
yeah, that guy. Isn't that guy?
Yeah, this is
that's
Joe.
Dick Vitale.
Oh, son of a gun.
But the point is, we're sucking it up on Podcast Alley, and we need your help.
We haven't asked in a few weeks.
PodcastAlley.com.
Yeah. And if you forget how to spell MuggleCast, you could probably type in Pottercast. It's about the same thing, you know. Harry Potter.
Shameless
Harry
plugs.
It's all,
Yeah.
it's all good. Shameless nothing.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, did you have something to say? An announcement of some sort?
Andrew can do it if he wants to.
As we mentioned last week, don't forget we have our MuggleCast Remix, which is basically a look back at all the past episodes from episodes 1 to 23, I believe it is. Yeah, aren't you impressed?
Cool beans. You should check it out.
Yeah, it was headed by Eric Skull, and
right.
he put in all the hours in it, and we recommend everyone check it out. It's long. It's not just your average everyday remix. It's a MuggleCast remix. We don't mess around.
That's right.
So check that out on the MuggleCast site at MuggleCast.com. Where were you? I screwed it up.
Exclusive.
Where have you been?
Over to me. Oh, jeez. What's going on this week, Andrew? Oh, yeah. At the end of each show, I always just come with some random character, and we end up discussing them. This week, it is Ron. Ooh. So it's time to go on to our main discussion of the week. Woo! Throw the confetti everywhere. Yay! Main discussion time. Ron, Andrew, do you have what's that one site? Oh yeah, HP Lexicon.
You mean part of the Flu Network, which is also in affiliation with the Leaky Cauldron.
Hey, okay, stop plugging, honestly.
Well, we're not called that anymore. What? We changed our name.
What do you call it?
Yeah.
It's MuggleNetGreg.org.
It is Leaky News.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about the network. Got changed. But anyway.
No.
He was born March 1st, 1980. He's a pure blood with 5 brothers and 1 sister. Blue eyes and green hair. Oh, no, red hair. And in the book, he's described as a tall, thin, and gangling.
With freckles, big hands, and feet, and a long nose.
I'm sorry, but that's kind of raunch.
His Patronus is a Jack Russell Terrier. His Boggart is a spider.
Bogart.
And in the future, whatever it is, and in the future, he wants to pursue a career as an Auror.
I wanted to start off this week, since it's Ron, and since I'm back, and I'm happy to be back, and all that crap. All that stuff. I wanted to start off by saying I noticed
Steal the show?
when you're going to the lexicon stuff, you said Ron's birth date is the 1st of March, 1980. Now, I, for one, don't agree or have never really agreed with the trend of labeling dates.
Put a timestamp on the series?
Putting a timestamp on the series, right. Now, this whole 1980 thing, and I realize, the main reason is the 500 years since, Nick died in, 1492 and that kind of stuff. But I really don't think there is substantial evidence, and I think in the first few books there had been people who proved that she was actually trying to purposely make the series unplannable. So do you guys agree with this whole, timestamp?
Yeah,
thing,
it makes it
1945
feel
to
old.
1970, the Marauders went to school in 1980. What do you?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I really don't like
Personally,
it.
what I think that it takes away from the timelessness of the series. That
that was so 99.
Not
yeah,
only that,
whenever,
but
whenever you read it, you want to make it feel like it's happening right now, not that this is 1983, this is happening.
No, I don't think Joe's too up into that.
Yeah, Joe has never really she hasn't come out and said that. She hasn't confirmed it. I mean, has she?
I think she's on the fence because she doesn't really give recent dates, but then she puts in stuff like, Dudley got a PlayStation for kids.
Yeah.
Well, right.
That's going to be irrelevant in 20 years. That's 10 years even.
Well, that's
PlayStation what? PlayStation 5? Doesn't say.
But isn't there a timeline on one of the Harry Potter DVDs?
Yeah.
And
I think so.
There's going to be one on the new one too.
But it's a question about
what's going on there. Who proved all that? That's always been a big question, hasn't it?
I think it's a matter of...
I think they confirmed for the third one or the second one that Joe helped them out with that thing.
I think J.K. is starting to give in.
Timeline.
I mean, I
think
guess basically what we're trying to say is that even if Joe confirms it, we still see it as a little strange to date the books. 'Cause that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
They're being dated.
And that's like saying if you know...
I agree with Ben. It sort of throws you off. It doesn't feel it doesn't completely ruin it, but you don't get that current feeling.
It's not as timeless. Right. Yeah. You don't feel like when I'm reading the books, I want to feel like it's happening right now, that I'm with Harry, that type of thing. Where when Harry's 15, for example, when the last several books have come out, I was the same age as Harry.
Yeah.
And
Same.
I don't know, I just want to think like it's happening right now rather than, this was X-Men.
Oh, well, I
right?
completely agree with that. I mean, it's the whole feeling of growing up with the series and, being the same age as Harry when you read the books. I've never really thought too much about the timeline on it. I'm pretty indifferent to it because when I read the books, it's about reading the books. I don't really care, what time frame it's happening in.
And I think with...
Because since the books are still being released, I think that takes away from...
Yeah, that too.
I mean, that adds to the timelessness of it, because right now, since we don't know what's going to happen, even though theoretically in the series, maybe in the past, we still feel that it's still in the future for us.
Yeah, and you can't say that JKR didn't,
Yeah.
use current events to influence.
So
what
year
she
timeline,
writes.
all this stuff has actually already happened years ago.
Yep.
Or
So
something.
back to Ron. that was
Yeah.
very impromptu. It was on the schedule, Eric. You're killing me.
I'm sorry.
We
Well,
should share these with
sorry.
everyone. Prove the world wrong. We do
We
plan
really
our
should.
shows out. We do.
It's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, something everyone's dying to know.
Yeah, right.
It's even color coded
Okay. Hey,
with little clip art.
Hey, Andrew, stop taking away from the show.
Color coded black and white.
What do you guys think? Did Ron prevent Harry from going to the dark side by becoming friends with him instead of Harry becoming friends with Draco? Basically, if Harry wouldn't have met Ron on the train, do you think things would be a different
No.
story?
Nope.
No.
No.
Well, if you
I mean, obviously he wouldn't have Ron, but he wouldn't have gone to the dark side.
But doesn't Harry find strength in his friends?
and
though?
Harry was
Wouldn't you agree about
Harry.
that?
Yeah,
but
to a
he'd have
degree,
didn't know-
but
Oh, how do you put this?
yeah.
Harry wasn't sure. Ugh. Okay, if he had become friends with Draco, he would have. Was it possible for him to get into Slytherin?
Sure.
Okay, so it would have been a completely different ballgame.
Not necessarily. No, because it's been a theme that has been presented throughout all the books is that our choices define who we are.
But you know what,
Harry
Laura,
didn't
actually-
like Draco
actually,
from
wait,
the
oh.
moment he met him in Madame Malkin's. Harry
that's
chose
true,
not to
but-
be put in Slytherin.
Wait, Laura,
I don't think that Harry would allow for himself to go over to the dark side.
Wait, if it weren't for Ron, he wouldn't actually know that all the dark wizards were in Slytherin. he might not actually be opposed to Slytherin because he wouldn't have found out beforehand, before the sorting ceremony, that Slytherin was bad. So that
doesn't mean that he would become a dark wizard, though.
No, I mean, I agree completely and wholeheartedly that he'd be a good guy no matter what. But as far as being put in Slytherin, he might have actually been, because if you think about it, I'm just trying to bring more validity to this question, because we've already talked about how, Harry's...
Well, this question is also saying about, it's putting it in the context of Ron becoming friends with Harry at the beginning, but I think also we have to remember, and at least I hope this actually happened in the book and not just the movie. I haven't read the book in a while. Draco making fun of Ron at the beginning, and just Draco demonstrating the kind of personality he is. And I think that initial introduction to Draco like that there, I mean, I know they met in the Diagon Alley or wherever the hell they were trying on clothes, but I think that that's also one of the purposes for the character of Dudley, is to parallel these two people in Harry's mind, and that Draco reminded him of Dudley and immediately made it clear to Harry this is not somebody he wanted to be friends with.
And
so
you know what?
I think regardless of whether or not he had met Ron, he would have known that he wouldn't like Draco.
Yeah, and that was
while he could have ended up in Slytherin, that really I don't think that would have guaranteed any other choices.
I like that parallel, MuggleNet Greg.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. The way he was brought up, I think, that he never would have befriended Draco.
He got hand-me-down clothes just like Rupert did. I mean, sorry, Ron.
Exactly.
Growing up with Dudley and stuff. So that was very nice, MuggleNet Greg.
Yeah, MuggleNet Greg's good for one of those every once in a while. Now I'm mute for 30 minutes while I think of something else.
Don't go mute.
What about Ron's Quidditch skills? He kind of guided the team in Book 5 to the Quidditch, to the House Cup, the Quidditch House Cup, whatever you want to call it. The Quidditch Cup, I guess. What do you guys think about his Quidditch skills?
I think it was very cool how Ron was characterized as being the kind of person who, if he lets his emotions get in the way of his Quidditch playing, he can't do it and he can't do a thing, and he always lets himself get defeated by his own, confidence. But if he has confidence, he can do anything. And I think that fit with Ron in the rest of the world, not just Quidditch.
Anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah, you pretty much took the words out of my mouth, so...
I think the lessons he's learning from that about confidence when he's playing Quidditch is probably going to help him if there's any kind of war scenario in this last book where he's going to be doing fighting and stuff.
Now, when he looked into the Mirror of Erised, was he captain of the Quidditch
That's the
team
question.
Or just on it?
He was captain.
He was captain and he was head boy and all this other stuff.
But all this stuff he actually... that's coming true or something, isn't it?
What's coming true?
Isn't it starting to come a lot of what he saw in the Mirror?
Sort of. He got on the Quidditch team and he became a prefect.
He's head boy. I mean, no, he's not. He was a prefect.
And didn't wasn't Hermione in the mirror too with her hand in his pocket? I thought.
No.
MuggleNet Greg, that's dirty.
I thought.
Report.
Oh.
John doesn't know that he comes from Pottercast.
I'm gonna
Pottercast.
Yeah, really. I'm gonna call up iTunes, call it Jobs, and make sure he removes your clean rating from your podcast.
Hey, the day they stick us with an explicit tag is the day our ratings triple.
You know what? That's true.
Pottercast
I think he's
unrated.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Ron always being overshadowed by Harry? Everyone's viewed him sort of as Harry's stupid little friend. He's never really made a name for himself, if you guys understand what I'm saying. Do you think that he'll ever be able to step out from under Harry's shadow? Because we've seen the jealousy towards Harry, because Harry got to be a Triwizard champion, all those things.
I think Ron's matured beyond that, though.
Yeah, I think they do view him as a separate person. I mean, they realize that he's Harry Potter's friend, and that's all cool. But I think in the later years, there are more and more moments where he gains more respect, separately, as far as, in the 5th book, all his Quidditch triumphs and Weasley as our king and stuff. Those are things that happened to him without Harry.
Well, Lavender's a perfect example.
Oh, yeah.
Of the fact that people are starting to see him as his own person.
I really like that. Yeah, so, I mean, even though it may have seemed at first, I think the older they grow together, they know more and more about their fellow Gryffindors, and they know them as individual people. And the thing about the what's going on with Voldemort is that many things happen to each individual's family that it really separates them apart. So when Mr. Weasley got attacked, everybody could see that happen to Ron, and even though Harry had a lot to do with it, I think that they were able to separate that with Seamus and his mom, and basically all the Gryffindors are individually characterized more and more throughout the books. So people are their own individual people, just generally.
Yeah. Well, the only real worry about looking at Ron as Harry's stupid little friend is what happened to the characterization of Ron in the movies. That's where you want to see Harry's stupid little friend.
Yeah.
You watch number 3.
Or
Yeah, but Laura's right. He's sort of matured out of that, and I think it shows by him becoming a part of the Quidditch team that he's becoming his own person.
Totally.
And build his own reputation.
In the books, that's never supposed to be. I mean, that may be his poor self-image of himself, but he's supposed to have a lot of positive traits in the books.
Yeah.
They just missed those chapters when they were writing the script.
Yeah.
They dozed off. It was up late reading.
Steve Klobbs was
Yeah.
lazy. Whoops. Skip 6 chapters.
Yeah, that was Chris Columbus is all like at the press conference. Yeah, we were gonna do the Death Day party, but next question, please. Steve was like, "What?
Yeah.
When did that happen? What?" You didn't see Steve Jobs sneaking out the other side of the limo, during that interview.
How does Steve Jobs
Not
always
Steve.
make his
I
way
meant
into
Steve
our
Cloves. I'm
conversation?
sorry, Steve Cloves. Cloves.
You have a crush on Steve Jobs.
Jobs.
I
I don't
do.
even know what he looks like. Actually,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a picture of him.
Guys, speaking of romance, what about Ron in book 6? He sort of started to lay the mac down on Hermione. Do you think
he's just
Yeah.
desperate at this.
Do you think
he's desperate at
do you
this
think
point?
Do you think they're a match? or
I don't
not?
think Ron's boyfriend material in certain ways. He is for Hermione, and I think that's why. I mean, I think he fits
In
Hermione
5
more than he
years,
fit.
Eric.
What?
As of right now, Ron. Okay, if I were Hermione, he would drive me up a tree. He would absolutely drive me insane. I would want to strangle him, and I
No,
think
no,
that
no.
book 6
That's if you were
completely
Laura.
brought that across.
If
No!
you were Hermione, no, Hermione loves him.
I'm
So
sure
if you
she
were-
does, but she also sent a flock of birds after him. I mean,
Well,
he
he's
clearly ticked
because
her off.
she has feelings for him, and I think if you were Hermione, you would have the same feelings. But if you were Laura, you'd strangle him, and rightfully so. But
I
continue.
would strangle
Just-
him regardless because he's an idiot
Are
sometimes.
you a man-hater, Laura?
No, no.
Are you
You're
a
Ron.
If I were a
hater.
man-hater, how could I do this show every week? Come
You
on.
do hate us.
That's a
You
very
you
good
threaten
point.
us. Andrew has
Good
to edit
point.
out the death threats. I helped him edit one day. I
That's
counted all
right.
the death threats we get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Laura.
Yeah, people.
Let's pause right now for editing.
With 2 T's, Laura.
Yeah.
We're back.
That's great.
Jeez.
No, Micah,
Okay.
Micah, what do you think about Ron and his?
What were we talking
Micah,
about?
what do you think about Ron and his?
Micah dropped out.
Micah,
Micah dropped out.
What?
And then he went offline. I don't. He's. I guess his
So let-
internet's looking. His modem fried, and then now he's on wireless. So I think he has a problem.
So let's talk about this a little bit more. Ron, boyfriend material.
Oh
MuggleNet
yeah.
Greg, what do you think?
Let's think here. MuggleNet Greg thinks that Ron had to go through the trial that was Lavender before he can have a relationship with Hermione.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I forget
agree.
where I discussed this with and who it was, but I think after Ron's bouts of jealousy with Hermione and Crumb, I guess he probably had to figure out what exactly it was that he wanted.
You know what? That's
If he wanted a girlfriend, why did he want a girlfriend? Did he want it just so he could, have somebody to make out with in the common room in front of everybody, or
Of course.
for all the other good
Social
things?
you know what?
acceptance.
That happened to everybody.
Dude, hey, hold on a sec. There are other things?
Well, one day, Ben, you'll meet that right lucky girl who you have a connection
And now
with.
this is called a.
What?
No, but I think Lavender was sort of like a test monkey for her.
No, she was prepping the oven, man. Prepping the
It's
oven.
really
Well,
sad
actually,
to say
it's
that she was.
Ron,
it's just terrible to say. I mean, it just breaks my heart to say it. It's really sad. No, it's
shut up, Ben. You're so negative.
Yeah, I think that... yeah, continue.
Ron.
No, Andrew,
Go ahead,
please.
Eric. Go ahead, Eric.
No, Andrew,
no,
really?
No. Okay, fine.
Okay,
no,
Andrew,
if you
go.
insist. Okay.
All right, Andrew, everybody.
Yeah, so I think Lavender was just basically a test dummy for Ron. His first relationship couldn't have been with Hermione. I don't think it just wouldn't have worked.
She would have to
It
teach
certainly
him...
wouldn't have been.
No.
Yeah.
It certainly would have been the same kind of,
Flawless.
make out
Natural.
with you in front of, your little sister kind of junk. Like with Lavender, he would have never had that with Hermione. I think by the time he was done with Lavender, he figured out that
No.
that's not really
Yeah.
kind of the kind of girl I
No,
want.
Yeah,
because
Greg,
Hermione
yeah.
expects more out of him. She expects him to be more mature, and she expects a more mature relationship out of him. No one can go into that when they're 16.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, they've been friends for such a long time. I think it would be awkward at this point.
Well, in
To
a
have
previous
a
point,
relationship.
I mean, I think it really brought out... See, the thing with relationships, I think, in the books, is that all of them, in fact, now that you're mentioning this, all of them really taught the characters, like everybody, each one of the trio had a somewhat bad or different, first relationship that didn't last. Like, Ron's with Lavender taught him that he should... that snogging wasn't everything. Hermione's with Crumbs taught him that, maybe she doesn't need to look for a star Quidditch player, and, maybe she doesn't need to look for the sports guy who really isn't, particularly equacious, or whatever the term was, So, each one of their first relationships kind of, taught them something about their future relationships and stuff.
I think that's absolutely not the reason why she started being interested in Crumb. I mean,
I
the
completely
Crumb
agree.
relationship
I
was
think
just
it's that
because
Crumb-
here's this strange new guy coming. Here's this strange guy that's paying attention to Hermione, and she's like, "What's this all about? Some dude's paying attention to me, and
yeah,
he's
he
an
was
older
the first
guy.
girl. He's the first guy to
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
The first guy to
Nothing to
actually
do with-
give her the time of day. So
Nothing to do with him being a sports star or anything. She's not impressed by that
Well, no,
stuff.
I thought that was her...
So in other words, Eric, get
Well,
off my
she
show.
made it pretty clear in the book, basically Crumb noticed that she was a girl,
Oh.
and Ron
Yeah.
didn't.
Crumb knew what was there. Did you see his face in that movie? She comes down the stairs, and you see that little wink, a little nod of the head.
Well, I just thought that
like,
was part
yeah,
of...
boy.
I thought book
Oh,
4
yeah.
was all about... I thought Hermione actually being more of a girl than she was before, too. With Crumb and things. And I don't know. You're right.
What do you guys think Ron is going to do in Harry Potter 7? What's his role going to be?
He's gonna die.
You really think so? Or you just being
Sweet.
no funny?
Actually, yes and no. If it were a different kind of stories, he probably would die. I don't think she's gonna
but
kill
why
off.
do people
I
have
think
to
it's
die?
possible
Why did
that he
why
might.
does JKR have
Well,
to kill
it's really
these people?
possible.
I'm really tired of this.
Make an interesting plot.
No, it's not an interesting plot. It's a sucky plot.
Dumbledore's not dead anyway. We all know that.
No.
Okay, stop, Micah Tan, get off the track.
Don't say Micah Tan. That's my name for him.
Micah Tan?
Yeah.
No, but
Are you Tan, Micah?
all these
No.
all these hero stories are like everybody has to die for like the hero to appreciate life. Why can't the hero just why do they have to die to prove anything? What does that prove besides that drama happens in real life? It's the fantasy story. I don't think she has
Actually, I heard Joe wrote it in there to make you mad.
I
at
She
it.
wrote it in there so
I'll
kids who
get
watch
that
those
skull.
Yeah.
I understand life has to be unfair, and she should represent that if she's doing a book about anything. But at the same time, everybody's like, who's going to die in the next book? And there's going to be more deaths. But what's the point? Why do they really have to die? Honestly, couldn't
To make us cry.
I don't like it becoming
because
a
it
gimmick.
makes the book
no.
interesting.
I think it makes.
I think it's.
Because it would be
Yeah.
boring if people
But does
didn't
everybody
die.
have to die? Does
I don't-
Ron have to die? Does Harry have to die? Everybody's like.
No, not
You never
everyone
said
has
everyone.
to
Harry
die.
absolutely won't die. There's
No.
there's not a chance in hell Harry will die. That's.
But
I can't believe
JKR's
anybody is even entertaining the idea.
JKR's all like, more lives will have to be taken, and I'm thinking.
Well, it's because they're having an all-out war.
I'm aware of that, and that's fine. But I mean, as far as main
That's what
characters,
happens.
it's like, why does she feel so compelled to keep killing people? Why is she so compelled to, keep the death count up? I mean, I realize it has to happen in war.
But the point is that she has to do it to keep the books interesting. It's part of the series. Death is part of real life. The series are like she's trying to make it like real life. as analogous as possible. So it's just too bad.
Then
People
why don't
die.
we have a
Sorry.
drug addict in the books?
Harry's life's rough.
Wait, Ben, I thought in real life people didn't run around with wands. at
Thank you,
wizarding
Laura.
schools.
I
Well,
wish.
that's true, but I'm telling
Laura is my
no,
homegirl.
I'm trying to, you stole it from me last week. Last week I said that, but what I'm saying is
Laura is
that
my homegirl.
No, really?
I'm saying that the setting that she's trying to create, like the concept of family and the concept of love.
Yeah, but not
and the
everybody's
concept of
family has to die
death
for them to be
and hate.
heroes. Not everybody's family has to get blown to smithereens for them
Okay,
to...
we're all gonna die
Not
anyways.
everyone's family is dying.
Eric, we're all gonna die anyways,
Yeah.
dude.
Ben's gonna die alone.
Why did whoever? I am. I'm gonna die alone with my MuggleCast headset and my freaking yellow card CD. Yellow card, lights and sounds in stores now. Go buy it.
Okay,
But,
more on topics.
It's awesome, guys.
What do we got?
Okay, now shifting
But you guys-
roles.
I'm really
to the movie.
confused, and I was trying to pay attention.
Micah was saying something.
Me too.
I'm so confused.
Eric, you confused us all again.
I'm sorry.
Shifting gears to the movies.
Confused.
What do you think about Rupert Grint as Ron? I can't think. Your hands all sweaty.
I think in the case of Rupert, it's just I've heard he was a very nervous person to meet on the red carpet. He's very, unsure, like almost unsure of his answers. Like he'll answer questions and things, but he doesn't really handle it particularly well. And I'm thinking, I can kind of relate to that because I mean Rupert was, he had no acting experience, and he auditioned for the role of Ron through Lizo and Newsround and stuff like that, and he got the role. So he's like the. To me, he's the fan who got to be part of the series, and he's really just a human person, and I think he has a right to be, have these little tendencies, be a little afraid or a little nervous and anxious, and I just think that shows through more with him than it does anybody else. I think it's just nerves, as far as I think it'd be
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
I
less
agree.
of a
and you can't blame
you
the
really
kid
can.
either.
I mean, and I think he does well in interviews and stuff. Just not, on the red carpet events, he might be a little bit more, yeah.
Timid.
Did he talk at all on the red carpet? I know he was like the first one to show up, but
Which shows that he likes it. He just doesn't
You
really
were
know.
there.
I mean, he still
Wouldn't
goes.
you know?
no, it was a long line of press. You couldn't see everyone and where they stopped. But I don't know, John. Did you see him stop at all?
I mean, I don't even think we even got to interview him, did we?
No. Well, that's my point.
I don't know.
I mean, we didn't get to interview Emma either, but she stopped. We saw her stop. I don't know.
I mean, it's obviously exhausting, and they just done the premiere of the week before. I don't know. I can't pretend to get into their heads about how they actually feel.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at Dan, and it's almost like you're thinking, "Wow, this kid is putting on a show for us, even when he's not acting in his movies."
Yeah.
How can somebody be that outgoing
Yeah.
and that always excited into it? But I talked to Melissa, who's met him obviously a lot more than I have,
Mhm.
and she swears that that's just the kind of kid he is. I think some people just have that naturally, and some people have to either work for it or it's just a lot more difficult for them, and that's probably why Rupert stands out, because it's such a contrast between
him
him
and Daniel.
and Radcliffe.
And Emma too.
Right.
Although Emma's more in between Dan and Rupert. But this is not Redcast. This is MuggleCast.
Yeah, right. No, one final thing about just talking about Dan Radcliffe and the things he does, because he's that kind of person in contrast to Rupert. Did you guys see what he did for YouTube? He was like
No.
it's something cool.
YouTube.com you're talking about?
YouTube.com. I'm actually plugging another site. Yes. If you
Yeah, what about
It's
it?
Dan Radcliffe on a show called This Way Up, I think it is. And it turns out he's like, they joke about it's this show, and they joke about it's a skit. And he actually has like a side job as a police officer who loves the attention, and so he writes. It's
Yeah,
great
I've seen
stuff.
that.
So just please, I just wanted to mention that it's like the funniest thing I've seen him do.
Oh.
But I'm sorry, this is like the 5th time I've taken the show off topic. Please, by all means, back to Ron.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're quite a ways in now, so I think it's time we moved on. Hey, yeah, we definitely did. It was 40.
Did we cover him
We're
enough?
40 minutes in. It's time.
Well, we're answering.
Yeah.
We're
No, wait a
answering-
sec. Well, hold
I
on.
thought we
answering
had a few more
voicemails
for
now.
the about Ron.
Well, we have a
Rupert
little bit
was-
more about
Uh,
growing up as a Weasley.
Hey, John.
Are we running long?
No. We need to move on.
All right.
40 minutes in. Well, hold on. John, you think we should do the voicemails now?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, Andrew, hold on. John, are you sure?
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Okay,
let's do
I guess
voicemails.
that settles it.
Yeah.
Well, that settles it. We're doing the voicemails.
Never get
okay, let's
tired
do
of
the
it.
voicemails.
We're stackless this week. Stackless this week again.
Actually,
How about we read the voicemails backwards in his honor?
Backwards battle.
Actually, I have something to report. Kevin Steck is apparently knee-deep in differential equation and digital logic homework right now.
In other words, he's
my
a dork.
gosh.
First voicemail.
In other words, he's smarter than all of us.
Yeah.
And he's paying for it with his time.
Okay.
Yeah.
roll the first voicemail.
Hi, this is Amy from Los Angeles, and I really do enjoy your podcast. Since Ron is the topic this week, I wanted to ask you guys about basically his skills. It was pointed out over and over again that Ron is really good at chess, and though his magical abilities may not be as brilliant as others, do you think that Ron's talent for strategy will play an important part in the seventh book and the final confrontation with Lord Voldemort? That's it. Thanks.
Yes,
Bye.
absolutely. Because,
Why?
okay, well, obviously he's going to be helping Harry, and that's all there is to it. If Ron gives with Harry, well, okay, we haven't seen much from him since Sorcerer's Stone with the strategy, like we saw with the whole chess game. But that could be a good point, that it does foreshadow what Micah is about to explain.
Mike and
Yeah,
Dan.
it's a good follow-up question. Do you guys think that what happened in Sorcerer's Stone foreshadows Ron's fate in the final
Totally
book?
just thinking that, Micah. That blows my mind that you just said
What
that.
about him getting
Blows my
We're on
mind.
the same
him
wavelength.
sacrificing
I know,
himself?
we're totally in tune. I think there's a
I think it's entirely
there's a
possible.
theory, I forget where it's published, about the whole chess game theory. How pretty much every move in that chess game is supposed to mirror something that's going to happen in the final battle. Yeah,
Clever,
true.
but brother.
I don't know. I
I actually am a firm believer that she uses chess games as a foreshadowing device on more than one occasion, including in Order of the Phoenix. When they're in the Order and they're playing a chess game, and Ron is yelling at the chess pieces, he says something like, take him, he's a pawn, just, kill him or something. And right at that moment, the next words printed on that page is Snape coming into the room. Randomly, to talk about something. I think that's a major foreshadow that Snape's getting the axe in the last book. And
well,
he's going to do it in a sacrificial
as long
way.
as he was a pawn for Dumbledore and not Voldemort. But no, I think that's a good question. What Micah brought up too. Will he sacrifice himself? I think it's possible, but the thing is he in a position to sacrifice himself? I mean, is he? I think if anybody sacrifices himself to save Harry and his cause, I think it'll be Neville. That's just. I mean, I think Neville holds more importance as the one who was almost the chosen one, and that if anybody really sacrificed himself and was able to be, important enough to stop Voldemort or whatever they have to do to let Harry through, I think Neville would have to sacrifice himself before anything Ron did.
Yeah, but I could see Ron taking the bullet for
as a
Harry.
friend,
Yeah.
I think it's in his character. I don't know about the series if that'll do anything though. If that'll allow, what exactly Ron will be able to do that would stop Voldemort from doing something to Harry.
I mean, it would be more of a simple action than a complicated action that
But
would involve magical complexities. It would just be jumping in front of a spell. Or it could be something like he captures Ron or somebody, and he's like, tell me where Harry is. He's like, no, I'm not going to tell you where Harry is. Like, then I'm going to kill you now. And he's like, fine, kill me. And then he dies in the next chapter.
Yeah, that's overpublished in sci-fi and hero stories too. But
It's true.
His strategy has been missing in the past books. It really has. Like, he's this big strategy guy, and all this stuff. Harry basically plans his own wars and attacks, and that's because he doesn't let people in. But now that seeing as he might let people in, do you think Ron will be able to help strategy-wise?
I don't think Joe would have given
I
him
like
the
that.
talent if it weren't going to have, some sort of...
Well, it got
place in
them,
the book.
50
Do you
points for
think it'll help
Gryffindor.
him with the hunt for the Horcrux?
Hunt for the horse.
Let's just not. No,
strategy will
Ben.
help
Ben,
them
don't feed him.
figure out
Don't
where
feed.
they are.
No, Ben, just don't.
No, hold on. John, we just figured out the title for the book 7.
The Hunt for the Horse. You know, I'm
yeah,
gonna go in
Harry
and buy
Potter
that
and the Hunt for the
domain
Horcrux.
right now. I'm gonna go to GoDaddy. I'm gonna buy Hunt for the Horcrux, and I'm not gonna put in the MuggleCast
That's
code.
MUGGLE and save an additional
I'm
10% off any order.
I'm gonna type it in wrong on purpose.
Oh my God.
Use the
that's
code RON and save $5 off any additional order.
Guys,
Harry, we have a lot of codes. I'm not even joking.
Yes.
guys, we have
Really?
Yes.
Guys, we have a lot of voicemails to get to, though. So I hope that was a sufficient enough an answer, but it's time to move on to the next one.
Hi, MuggleCasters. This is Jill calling from the University of Arizona in Tucson, and I have a question about Ron, my favorite character. In general, you guys seem to give Ron and the Weasley family a hard time, especially last week when you said that the Weasley family wasn't very good at magic. I see the Weasley family as have proven themselves time and time again through the series, especially as members of the Order. What would each of you like to see from them, specifically Ron, in the final book? Thanks. I really love your show. Talk to you later.
When I said last...
You dug yourself a
when
hole.
No, I didn't.
Hole.
I still stand... Shut up. I still stand
Watch
by
him
what
dig
I said
himself
about
out.
the Weasleys not being good at magic, but clever magic, so to speak. Yes, Mrs. Weasley is great at it. Just like all the little things around their house.
What do you mean?
You won't see that around the Wizarding world anywhere else. I'm not saying Mrs. Weasley invented it, but she's clever in that she can come up with, little things. Like, the clock is priceless. Everyone loves the clock.
Well,
I don't know. I just...
Yeah.
I don't think the Weasleys are entirely bad at magic. It's said in
It's
Chamber
clever
of Secrets
magic.
that their house
Not
was
defensive magic.
held stable by it. If they were
Yeah,
bad
like-
at it, their house would have
Well,
collapsed.
Exactly.
Mr. Weasley,
I don't know how many times I need to say this.
Well,
we
we
can't
haven't
assume
really
stuff
seen-
when,
What kind of... No, I'm saying... No, what I'm saying again is that Ginny got them out of Umbridge, the whole situation with Umbridge in Order of the Phoenix. I don't think they can be entirely bad at defensive magic if Ginny was able to get them out of that kind of situation where they were clearly the underdogs.
well, see, what the fans have to realize about Andrew is he makes statements without any substance to make the statement. I mean, he says
No,
it
no,
without...
no,
without-
no.
He
See,
just goes
what it is,
spouting
Any
off.
regard to
He has no idea
consequences.
what
Okay,
he's
Andrew's in
talking
this
about.
little hole, and he's got this eye shovel, and he's trying to dig him. What I want to say is that I think the Weasleys are just the kind of people. Now we've seen, as Laura pointed out, and with Fred and George, too, they could hold their own in a battle and could defend themselves against whether be Umbridge or even any kind of defense. But I think the Weasleys are just what it is that they're just generally the type of people who don't use defensive magic or feel threatened by it. They're well-mannered people, and Arthur Weasley went and punched Lucius Malfoy before he wanted to use any magic against him. And I think just what we're seeing in Book 6 with the whole Molly Wobbles, you need to know the password to enter the Weasley house, is how they're really stooping to accept the hard times that lie ahead. And they're well-natured people who generally would use their magic and use their cleverness for things like the clock instead of things like defense. Like, you didn't have to, when the flying car went to the Weasley's house, it didn't have to be like buzzed in, and you didn't have to fingerprint scan or anything like that. I mean, that's not the kind of people they are. So I just think it's just that it's not that they can't hold their own, they just have preferred not to accept the potential danger until they absolutely had to.
Thank you.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Lucius Malfoy or Arthur Weasley?
Who did?
We
Yeah.
did that last
Oh,
week.
what'd you decide?
Yep.
We decided
decided-
that actually that's when isn't Andrew? Is that when you made the comment about the Weasleys sucking it? Man?
No, I said Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur doesn't do
Yes, he does. He
anything.
does the flying car.
Oh, my God. Oh, big deal. Flying car.
I imagine he's pretty
defensive, defensive. We haven't seen anything defensive.
Yeah, the flying car
out
saved them from Aragog.
That's not defensive. That's clever magic.
From Aragog.
Clever
From
magic
Aragog, it saved them from Aragog.
Here's what it is, Andrew.
Okay, just because
Well,
we haven't seen
Andrew.
it doesn't mean that
Well, we can't assume it. That's what I'm
Andrew.
saying.
Okay, eye shovel.
Well, you can't say they're bad at magic. You can't assume they're bad either. So you're contradicting yourself, Andrew.
I'm not saying they're bad.
I'm
I'm not saying they're
The
bad.
word,
I take
the
that
word of
back,
the day is
okay?
eye shovel.
There you go, flip-flopping again.
Yeah.
I'm
It
not
all-
flipping flop. You know what? This is outrageous. No.
Okay,
no.
Andrew, I have a question for you.
I'll be back in a
question
few
for
minutes.
you.
You guys
No,
stress
no,
me out
shut
way
up.
too much.
No, shut up. Oh my God. Okay.
Well, dude.
Here's what I was
Okay, what
going
do
to
you
ask
do?
Andrew before he got up and left. Okay, I was going to ask, do you think it's necessarily, I don't know, essential that the Weasleys use defensive magic? I mean, clever magic could get them out of a tight spot. You don't always need to use defensive magic.
There's clever forms
I don't think.
of defensive and offensive magic, especially if your offensive magic is not going to be unforgivable magic. But here's what I think what it boils down to. Any member of the Order of the Phoenix, any member of the First Order of the Phoenix, implies that they were in battles before in the first the first times of Voldemort. The fact that they're still alive means they were obviously up to snuff enough to
up to snuff
battle
enough.
with Death Eaters and to not get themselves
You know,
killed.
I like that.
Although the Weasleys
Oh, they
weren't in
weren't?
the Order the first,
Yeah, they
the
were,
first
weren't
time,
they?
though.
Weren't they in the
Oh,
picture?
I think they were good.
No, they weren't.
No.
No, in Order of the Phoenix, Dumbledore said something like, "You weren't in the Order last time,
Huh.
Molly."
I think it was
and all this other
Hagrid.
stuff, or it was someone
son
else.
of
who
a
said
gun.
that
Or
to
was
her.
Hagrid in it before?
Foiled again. But then answer me this. If they weren't in the First Order, which I'll concede that they're not, because I'm stupid about the books, I guess, then how did they get involved with all these people, like Lupin and Mad-Eye and Dumbledore?
Went to school together, maybe?
But no,
and,
they weren't in the same year. They weren't marauders.
No,
they weren't.
It doesn't
They were
matter,
like
John.
5 or 6 years
The
apart.
thing is,
He's worked at the Ministry of Magic.
But why are they involved
They're
with
friends
each
with
other,
Dumbledore.
other than the fact that it's a storytelling thing that Harry's
Okay.
friends are people that relate to other people in his
well,
life?
I think it's that they're all friends of Dumbledore. I think Dumbledore was a central character, and he knew, he was in contact with Sirius Black after Prisoner of Azkaban, and he was always in contact with Hagrid. He let him stay on, and he was, always helping Remus out throughout his life. And so I think it's just a matter of Dumbledore, when he needed people, he was able to pull them together because they were all friends with him, and I think it was really him who they all shared a friendship with. And when they first met each other, I don't know when it was, but they can all relate through Dumbledore. And so even by nature, if Dumbledore likes them, they're the kind of people who would get along well together. And
Or how about Harry,
Yeah.
even? I mean, they're the main protectors of him now. So
Yeah,
it's possible they were brought into the Order for protection themselves.
which is true.
I mean, it makes sense now that Harry's involved, but I guess it's where they did they associate with each other before Harry came
It's
along?
really a question, yeah, that too, and also would they even, Harry and Ron would have had to meet if his family was in the Order. If Ron's family was, I don't really see how Ron and Harry couldn't be friends if they're, or couldn't at least, be incredibly aware of each other with how intertwined their families are. I mean, that's a valid point.
Yeah. Well, I think I said this in an earlier episode as well, that I think part of the reason that the Weasleys became members of the Order was that Molly's
Gideon and
brothers were
Fabian.
killed in the First
Pruitt.
War by Death Eaters. Yep.
Wow, that was my
Those are a
JKR
couple of
moment
names,
right
aren't
there.
they?
I was like, wow, trivia.
Hey guys, this is Calissa from MuggleNet.com in Texas. Okay, so I've been thinking of a way to force you all to let me on the show for a while now, and then I thought of something I've always wondered about. Everyone always asks what your Patronus would be or what your blogger would be, but no one ever asks about Amortentia. Amortentia is, as you probably know, the most powerful love potion that's mentioned in Half-Blood Prince, and it's said to smell different to each person depending on what they're like. So what would it smell like to all of you? That's my question, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
No, that's fun.
How would
I
I
don't know what it would smell
Is
like.
this a voicemail question?
I don't walk up to people I like and sniff
Yeah,
them.
Calissa sent in a voicemail.
You don't understand. It's supposed to smell like your favorite things.
Yeah.
Like to Harry, it smelled like, Quidditch and grass and crap.
No, it smelled like money, man.
Yeah, Harry's gonna smell
You know
like
what it smelled like to
grass
me?
and a locker
Smell
room,
like
apparently.
my listener challenge this week because I'm
No,
in
it's awesome.
love with this week's listener challenge.
So I guess that means we have to play the voicemail because you want to have
We'll
that.
get
in.
that later.
But thanks, Closa.
No, I already played it, dude. You missed it. Thanks, Calissa.
You would.
Yeah,
if
Calissa
someone
totally
comes
pulled an
doing
Izzy
stuff
there,
like
guys.
that.
Dueling Club and wrap up.
Hey, MuggleCast. My name's Allison. I'm 14, and I'm from LaPorte, Indiana. That's near Chicago. And I have a question, a comment/question about Ron Weasley. I read in a book, and I think you guys mentioned something about it, that J.K. Rowling was greatly inspired by Hamlet, and especially the idea of somebody dying for who they love. And so do you think Ron will die in the next book to save Hermione? I think you guys mentioned it. I know I read that about it in Muggles and Magic, and I was wondering what you think. Thanks. And I'm a big Bema shipper. Bye.
Hey, Allison. Do you know Emerson? He lives right down the road. I know his address. If you send me an email, I'll send you an email back with his address. But oftentimes he goes to the YMCA. You know where the Y is? And he also can be seen at Little Caesars Pizza. I've been there before. I've been in that Little Caesars. I bought breadsticks there. But that's besides the point.
Ooh.
Okay.
They were very good breadsticks. So
Little Caesars is
Even
not.
though I
Ron
take the
died
show off
for
topic, I think
Hermione.
breadsticks is just, that's the line.
Oh, be quiet, Eric. Be quiet. Do you guys
That's
think?
gonna be on an
okay, who's
Avatar
going to die
soon.
for someone they love? That's the question. Will
that's why
Ron
everybody
die
is
will Ron
dying.
dying to save her from
That is why
Everybody's dying for
That's
ones
true.
they love.
Yeah.
But I think they mean. I think it's one of those cases like you take you step in the way, sort of like a Secret Service agent would step in the way of a bullet to save the president.
Well, sort of like the MuggleNet poll.
Yeah.
Would you take a bullet for JKR in order to save the books?
I got a lot of
In order to save
captions
book
for
7?
that. That was
Would you?
really great.
I
You
wouldn't. No.
Because he wouldn't get to
The
read
end.
it. What was
The
the
end
point
is
of doing
already.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, I lose.
Wait.
The end is already written, so I don't know. That's a big factor if it weren't already.
Would it be published?
Yeah, I was
No.
just. I don't know if we
No,
want to
no.
talk about that, do we?
Let's
Yeah, I think
kinda
I don't
let's
know.
stick this to
That's
Ron.
wrong,
No,
guys.
let's
Yeah.
stick to Ron.
That's
Stick to Ron. Come on.
dangerous territory.
Who-
Although
Yeah.
it would be a good topic.
I heard Scholastic gives her
I can see
incredible
Ron.
health insurance, so she is going to be all set.
She's an
Lord
upper
knows
to
she
bring her
couldn't
back
afford
to
it
the day.
otherwise.
She probably is a.
Do you
she
think she
probably
would
is a
get frozen?
clone waiting for her.
Would you?
Okay, guys.
It doesn't matter. That
We're
all has
talking
to go
about
on.
Ron. Will Ron die in the next book to save Hermione?
He would.
The trio's
don't
not
know,
dying,
I'm not-
period.
Hmm.
Actually, I think we'll lose.
John,
a
are
third
you
of the
really
trio.
are you really
Who's the
against
third?
Harry dying?
I just know it's not going to happen. I'm
Really?
just a
I mean-
realist here, you guys, that's all.
I mean,
I
it's
don't think
interesting,
Harry's
like,
gonna die.
Well,
either.
obviously, Harry's not going to die.
It's
I hope he dies.
so then you could have Emma.
If Harry, this is what's going to happen. If Harry or any other trio dies, Joe's going to get served with so many lawsuits from so many organizations all
About
around
for
the
your
world,
best friends.
at paying all of their kids antidepressant
Yeah.
medicines, because they're all going to be so devastated. She's going to lose her entire fortune to lawsuits.
Yeah, think like all the merchandise. Like you have these.
Yeah, who's going to want to buy
Yeah,
stuff?
what do they call these
what-
dolls? Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's
You know
dead
what it
now.
is.
Buy,
He's not
buy your
cool.
Harry Potter action figure. Comes in a black suit for mourning.
The Lego Ron's funeral scene. You know,
Hermione comes in a very flattering black veil.
Oh, come on.
That's
No, it
terrible.
is terrible.
No, but it'd be true. Who would
Yeah,
want,
and it's
who would
one
want
thing
to buy
when-
that.
I know
it's
nobody
one thing
would.
when you're reading
It's
about
not
when
gonna
you're reading,
happen.
when you're reading serious, and you think, oh, he'll be dead in a few books. That's sad. And when you read about Dumbledore, yeah, that's sad. But Dumbledore is so entertaining that you can still read him and not be too upset. And you still hope he died with good intentions. But if Ron dies, I think the majority of the people are really going to be a little bit more upset because he shows up so much more in the books. As far as the trio goes, that
Well, yeah.
It's just like killing your best friends. And what John said about the antidepressant medicine, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I would sue her.
I mean, people are already going to be depressed
think
for
out
the
of-
end
out
of
of
the
the
book.
trio-
Period. People are going to go through the postpartum depression. But there's also a big difference.
I think if anyone does die in the
Yeah.
trio, it'll be
Well,
Ron.
I like that. I agree with you. If anyone dies in the trio, it could be Ron. But I think that there's a very big distinction between the death of somebody who's more or less your elder than one of your contemporaries, and Cedric
Oh, yeah,
dying
of course.
was probably arguably one of the most traumatic deaths he's had to go through, because it was someone closer to his age, and he wasn't even really good friends with that kid. He was kind of a prick.
And it happened like 2 feet away.
Yeah,
From him.
but I mean, if it was one of his best friends,
I think
He'd be
it's
devastated.
like, how could you even celebrate vanquishing Voldemort?
maybe you couldn't. Maybe
Yeah.
that's...
That's true, because he wouldn't have any, especially if everyone gets wiped out except him. He wouldn't have anyone to celebrate it with. So.
I mean, granted, he'll have.
I'm not sure Harry's
No, I
gonna
don't think he'll
celebrate,
celebrate
it, though.
anyways.
I mean, it's not like he's gonna kill Voldemort and
yeah,
then,
they're not
you know,
gonna go drink fire whiskey in the common room
You
or
know, just
anything.
to-
No, dude, there'll be a cake.
Yeah.
No, just to say, I mean,
That's
one of
gonna
the
be
things about
reflection
Harry
time.
is, about him dying and stuff. I think it's possible, but at the same time, he is the boy who lived. And we might have brought that up before, but he's the boy who lived only to get killed, 17, 18 years later by the same guy. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
He is the boy who
to
lived.
die.
So if you only live to die, that would be pointless, and it would say something about evil. But yeah,
That's Donnie Darko.
Donnie, yeah.
Everyone, it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Dueling Club. This week, I don't know who we have. Well, who cares? No one
Soon to
cares
be
about
featured
you.
on podcast with a different name.
Yeah.
Pottercast,
That's
Pottercast
payback for all
would,
of our
they
stolen
would never
segments.
steal our segments.
I know.
They steal about 20 segments of ours.
I know. Well, you guys are more than welcome to borrow our Extendable Ears segments if you knew anybody famous enough to talk.
We do. We just don't need them. We are the talent.
Oh, I
We
forgot
are
you
the talent.
just-
We don't need
We
the
are
stars.
the famous people. Yeah, we are the famous people.
You just interviewed somebody who was almost Luna Lovegood. I remember. Well, that's close.
Hey, John.
I didn't listen to it yet.
Hey, John,
I'm sure.
I remember all the work you did to establish.
Are you kidding me?
It was all you, wasn't
They
it?
actually
You
call me.
did it all
They call me
yourself.
first, and then I give those to Melissa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And it-
but bottom line is we are the talent. We are the stars.
I haven't. Yeah.
We don't need acts coming on.
I haven't
We don't
had
need
this
the
much
bald
fun
guy, like-
recording anything. I can't even remember. I haven't had this much fun, period, since like breakfast.
It's breakfast.
Yeah.
Why? What happened to breakfast? Did you have Cap'n Crunch?
I had this. I found this really cool baseball card at the bottom, and it was holographic.
Okay, Mike and Tan, who's dueling?
Let's do Trelawney versus Luna, a battle of whack jobs.
Haven't we already done that?
No, we did it
No.
another time, but we cut it out, didn't we? And we moved it to this one.
What about Ron versus Bon Jovi? I mean, Ron versus Sheamus. Who'd win?
Probably Ron.
Ron, because we haven't seen enough of Sheamus.
No, I
so
think
that one's
Seamus
really
holds his own in
worthless
certain
to
ways, like
debate,
against
because-
Harry and stuff. But I don't know. Seamus lets his mom control him a little bit more than Ron would.
Was Sheamus even in the DA for any length of time?
I forget.
Because at least Ron's been in the DA
Wasn't
and
he the one
actually
who was
learned
reluctant
stuff.
to
Yeah,
join?
he was.
He was
He
reluctant
came
to
to
join,
like
right?
one, I think. I think he came to one.
But he hasn't rotted him.
DA
Well,
lesson.
anybody in the DA versus anybody not in the DA is gonna win. It's not like they've learned anything of value from any of their DA teachers.
That's true.
True that.
Though I guess we now have to call you Umbridge.
Ladies. Hey.
Is this
Andrew,
thing
be
usually
quiet.
this boring? This segment? I was all excited.
Yeah,
It's called
and every
Dueling
weekend
Club.
was like our
No.
exciting. That was another exciting episode of. It was like
Oh, last week's
was good.
Last week's was good.
Andrew.
Last week's was good.
I have something to tell you.
What? What?
It's my
Now or
life, and it's
never.
now or never.
Live forever.
I ain't gonna live forever.
Live while
Andrew,
I'm
no, it's
alive.
time for.
Ben.
It's time
you have
for
a nice day.
no, hold on. It's time
What?
for. We're Spy on Sparts. We're sick of Spy on Sparts. You know.
Okay, let me intro this the right way. Often Pottercasts always have these celebrities on their show. They like to call them, like stars of Harry
That's
Potter.
overrated.
But screw Harry Potter.
Ooh.
What about rock stars? This is what MuggleCast is about. You hear our opening and closing music. Okay? So this is why we are we are very proud and excited to bring to you Spy on
the
Bon Jovi.
hippest rock
Mike
star
Attan,
of our
take
day.
it away.
He was just on TRL. I saw him yesterday.
Mike Attan, set us up and take it away.
Bon Jovi is. This is
No.
so bad.
What's he wearing?
No, it's
Micah?
not. It's beautiful. No. Okay,
Yeah,
never
why
mind.
don't you set
I'll
it
set it up. So Mike Attan is very high up in the football world. He works at the AFL. He's in a multi-billion-dollar contract. This guy's rich. Okay, I'm
We have
like,
to call Micah Moneybags.
it's just outrageous.
Moneybags Tenenbaum.
So Micah. So today Micah was Bon Jovi's personal. What was it? What were we doing for?
Escorting him around. I mean,
You were
wasn't
his
that
escort.
Escorting him around New York City.
He was John. He was
the
Bon
escort.
Jovi's male
He told
escort.
me he had the shades on.
That
He
is
was-
hot, Micah.
So you asked him about Harry
I
Potter
did. He
and
actually
MuggleCast and all that.
he
What did
heard
he
about John Noe's incident last week.
No kidding.
He asked me. Yeah, he asked me how you were doing. He wanted to make sure that you were all right. And if anything that he could do for you,
Oh,
to give him
he's
a call, John.
Very considerate man, that guy.
Assuming John can get his number.
say? Yeah, that is nice.
Are you kidding me? I got everybody.
That is
Number.
nice.
Micah was his escort. Micah probably has his
Micah.
number.
How did that turn out?
Bon Jovi gave it to him.
If you ever need anything.
Hey, here's my number. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Micah, did you
well,
transcribe
one of
the
problems
encounter?
a lot of you had with Spy on Sparts is it was way too long and it was ridiculous. So I think Spy on Bon Jovi's over this week. Next week we'll spy on your favorite song.
Oh.
It may even be you. Actually, I think we're doing Bono
Celebrity.
next week. Kieran lives down the road from him. We're doing Bono.
Yeah, like this is outrageous. We have all these connections.
Yeah, really. We
Who
have
are
more
we kidding?
connection.
What's this Emerson? We got a rock. We got the rock star.
Who's getting called?
We got the rock stars. Oh,
Who are we spying on?
who's calling you? No.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Emerson.
Emerson, what are you doing right now?
Actually in the middle of a power hour.
You're doing what?
A power hour.
Oh, what's that mean for our G-rated audience?
It's where we drink a lot of, water to stay healthy. And, we watch movies and stuff, and, we're just chilling, basically.
Now tell me, are you with your new girlfriend right now?
I am not.
Are you with the girl who's almost your girlfriend right now?
I am not.
Oh, nuts. And why is that?
Because she's actually been asleep for about the past 5 hours.
Well, that's cool. Well, we just wanted to
Tell
see
him
what
he's
you
been
were up
kicked to
to.
the curb for Bon Jovi.
It's going to be on,
We're not gonna use
recording
it.
list.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you won't say anything inappropriate. Oh, that's weird. Well, I don't want to interrupt your power hour, or else you're gonna have to add more minutes on.
Yep. Took up a whole song, just a shot of water.
And we know how poorly you handle your water.
Right. That water just fills up so fast.
Emerson
Yes.
takes his water very seriously.
All right, dude. We'll
So
see you later, dude.
No.
And
Here's
and
what
that
we
was
need to do.
Spy
We
on
need to just
Sparks
call him.
a la podcast.
Hey Andrew, tell me, is the listener challenge back this week?
Oh my God! It is back and with a vengeance. So we've been off, and I don't. This just came to me. I was like, Jesus.
This is
Lord.
the mother
Andrew
of
praised
all listener
Jesus.
challenges.
He was like,
So let's just jump into it. This is a listener challenge and a contest. It is the Design a MuggleCast segment contest, where you will be able to make your very own MuggleCast segment that will be aired on MuggleCast. So, basic details. You create your own MuggleCast segment to be ran on our show. You plan your segment. You gather your content. You assign your hosts. You gather your hosts. You get your friends together, all that. And then you record the show. And then you edit it all together. You do everything. And then you send it to us. The judging will be based on creativity of the topic, the presentation, and the personalities of the hosts. And the winner
But hold on,
will
hold
have
on,
their segment
hold on,
aired.
hold on.
What?
So,
What?
about the host personalities. So, in other words, you don't want people like Andrew on there.
You can't be boring, that's what I'm saying. Just go through iTunes and look at random podcasts, and you'll see what I mean. You have to have a good personality.
So
you
don't listen.
Killer like us.
Yeah, don't listen to podcasts.
Oh,
don't go there
snap.
for examples.
In here, I was just ready to work on my submission.
So winners will have their segment aired on MuggleCast, and all the participating hosts will win an up-and-coming MuggleCast product that we will probably be
debuting.
That we will probably be announcing.
Ooh.
Yeah, that too. Next week.
What do you got? Coasters, bottle coolers.
Yeah, we got coasters, napkins,
toilet
party
paper,
hats.
Toilet paper with Andrew's face on every sheet.
It's Bema's toilet. It's Bema's toilet paper.
Let's get through this. The rules. Your segment must be no longer than 7 minutes
Magic
in
number
length.
7.
The topic must relate. Yeah, that I didn't even think of that. The topic must relate to the Harry Potter books, movies, fan culture, or anything else related to Harry Potter. So it can't be on quadratic formulas or whatever.
That'd be awesome.
Kevin's already me. He's already working on it. He's like, here's how you solve the differential
John Noe.
equation.
But he's
The opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Okay, let's get through this, please. People are. Now here's the kicker. John, listen up. You cannot use someone to host who is in association with a Harry Potter podcast or website, and I say this because we don't want some Harry Potter website trying to do this just to get. No, iMuggle's a good podcast.
Or the Harmony podcast.
I love the Harmony podcast.
iMuggle's good. I'm going to call John out on iMuggle in a few minutes. And the deadline, your segment must be turned in no later than February 18th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, for more information on sending the file to us, because some of them will be pretty big, and you might not be able to do it on email.
Please compress
Check
it
out
to MP3.
MuggleCast.com.
Please compress it to MP3.
Yeah, it has to be an MP3, right? We're gonna have all the entire list of rules will be up on MuggleCast.com. And then additionally, the winners will be announced, and their segment will be aired on the weekend of February 26th.
Andrew, I have one quick question.
To that date.
What's the difference between? I noticed.
Yes.
I mean, there's basically, if you look at our fans, there's like about, I think it's like 10, 15 different fan casts out there right now. So what? Yeah. So when you say that,
they're all rip-offs.
besides that,
What's
when you
the
say
point?
that they can't be anybody in associated with like a Harry Potter podcast or website, where's the differentiation between our fans and, because I think a lot of our fans on the fan listing and things like that have all done or been a part of a podcast. So can they send this stuff in? A lot of them, a big majority have done. There's like the MuggleCast Fancast chat and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, so
Okay.
Here comes Andrew's blanket insult on all Harry Potter fan podcasts.
No.
Do you want another eye shovel?
Anyone, this is open to anyone, but this isn't to have
needs
your
an
show
eye dozer.
promoted or anything. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
So MuggleNet Greg yourself. You can
I
do
can't
it.
wait till the winning submission
Yeah.
is this mystery voice that you later find out was me all along.
We're gonna run some checks on all the files to make sure. Now, segments from runners-up will be considered for airing in future episodes because people are going to put a lot of time into this. So your work should be recognized unless it's
Here's the
complete
translation of the listener challenge. MuggleCast is having a hard time filling up the show with interesting content, and because they have no imaginations to think of a new segment, this is where you all come in.
Exactly.
Now, hold on a second, John. I beg to differ. Spy on Bon Jovi, Andrew's Listener Challenge,
Ben's Top
Advice from MuggleCast. This is all original quality content. I forgot about that one. Oh, that was fun. Hey, let me clear the record right now, Noe. That is not a riff-off of your live call-in show.
I didn't even bring it up, but it's
the Advice
I didn't
from
even bring that up,
MuggleCast.
but it's funny how soon that entered your mind.
Yeah, but you and Melissa Because Melissa hasn't got off my butt about that, and you brought it up too.
I heard next week challenge is Micah's idea. Micah says, "Hey, for this fan challenge, let's see how you would transcribe a MuggleCast." And then they all come piling in, and Micah kicks his feet up on the desk and drinks a limonada.
No.
This is going to be a one-time thing. We're not going to take the segments into a new
Mike's
level.
next fan challenge would be,
oh, hey,
see how
do this
you
every
would
week
do
for
it.
us. Thanks. No, we got the show that we got right now is kicking. What?
Pretty soon. Well, actually, no.
We don't use our fans.
No, we're gonna progress, and eventually we're gonna have one like episode 30 is gonna be 30 seconds long, like 2 minutes long. It's gonna be Andrew's listener challenge. And the new challenge is to create an episode of MuggleCast.
Cool.
Then we'll just air those from here on out.
Way to sound like you're lazy.
Anyway.
But anyway,
So
good luck. I think everyone enjoying this. This is another quality contest brought to you by MuggleCast.com.
Oh my.
Your Harry Potter podcast.
Jesus.
Oh, funny.
Enter the code Muggle.
I'm gonna throw
it's
up.
MUGG.
I'm peeking on my being recording because of you. Oh, yeah, no. All you MuggleCast listeners are just itching to start by domain names.
No,
I
This
know.
is no,
It was a
you'd
brilliant
be surprised.
demographic.
You'd be surprised. We've had a lot of customers.
Oh,
We've made a lot
10
of.
out of 60,000 is like a ridiculously
It's not
good
10.
I
thing.
haven't gotten any cookies from you, Ben.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The show has turned into a joke.
Everyone.
I will say this is probably my favorite episode of
Man,
MuggleCast.
Mine
I've
too.
ever
We'll see how
listened
it
to.
turns out.
Thank you.
Through editing.
It's the only one you use.
Oh, no.
Well, guys and gals, that wraps up
Wow.
episode. This is 25.
Yeah, it's 25.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
episode.
it's
That episode.
24.
Episode 25.
No, it's 25.
No, it's 25.
Oh,
Be
that's
quiet.
right.
It's 25.
25 episodes. We're halfway to 50. Guys, this is our silver.
Actually, I'm thinking
show.
we should
Oh
just
my
skip
God.
to 100 right from here.
No, because, see, by the time you get to 50, we'll be on 50.
What?
No, yeah, because you're trying.
We're going to release a bonus
once again,
episode so we can be 50-50.
The leaky policy of one.
Yeah.
No, if we wanted to one-up you, we would be at 51 while you were at 50.
Funny. Well, everyone, MuggleNet Greg, thank you for joining us. We really enjoyed your company this week. Hopefully, you'll come back
Well,
again.
you'd have to.
You guys
You'd have
like
to invite
MuggleNet
MuggleNet Greg back.
Yeah, thanks, Hot Pants.
Don't you call him hot for calling
He's
me
hot
hot
with-
pants? You
he's
have
hot
to
with-
give me my 15 seconds.
Oh, John,
He's
can I
hot
have a
with
minute
two
with you
Ds.
real quick? We're gonna cut a lot of this out anyway. Well, except
What?
for this part. What is? I was listening to podcast earlier today. What is?
Yes.
Why do you hate iMuggle? What's the problem with it?
I've never even heard. I've heard the show before.
Yeah.
I've heard good things. I could only imagine that some portion of the MuggleCast fan chat is involved with the
I
project.
don't know. I just feel like you're making fun of it.
No, well, here's
I
the
just
story
don't-
about.
What?
Here's my thing about iMuggle. Okay.
Okay.
The thing about iMuggle is this: in about 3 or 4 days, Leaky is gonna revamp the entire website, and then iMuggle emailed me this thing about their show, and they said that they heard that Leaky was going to be introducing a bunch of new features and a whole new lots of things, and then iMuggle said that they want me to listen to their episodes. So then I said, that's fine. I heard you're a great show, and just for being listening to your show, I'll let you know to visit Leaky at leakynews.com instead of the old stupid web address. And then they gave me a high five and said that MuggleCast was cool for letting me just say that.
I don't get it. What's your point?
My point is,
He just used us for a shameless
love
plug,
iMuggle
is
is
what
what I
he's
said.
saying.
I think you're just jealous that your podcast doesn't have its own fan podcast.
Is that
Yeah,
what
we have
that
like
is?
15 of
Yeah,
our,
you
we have
haven't
15
listened
of
to
our
it?
own fan podcasts.
They no, that's not true, Eric. They sit there and they discuss MuggleCast. It's awesome.
I'll be gosh darn,
Yeah.
It's kinda weird.
If anything, I regret that our audience is comprised of people who either work or
They've like
do things with themselves other than
Yeah, okay,
sit on
you
their
say
computer
that.
with their hands in their pants.
yeah,
making podcasts.
and then we listen to
Okay,
podcasts and
you're
here's
the-
these professionally produced songs.
50-year-old.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's these 50-year-olds.
Yeah, John,
like
John,
Melissa,
your
John.
Your adult listeners work, and when they get back from work, they go into the MuggleCast fan chat.
And they hang out with Kim Blair.
You know.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Don't go in there. You kidding
You
me?
and
Oh,
Melissa were both in
please.
there a lot.
I've seen him in there, dude.
Yeah.
The Leaky Lounge is the most intelligent of all lounges online, I believe. Yep.
Can we end this
true.
show?
Well, guys.
No, you're not putting that in.
Guys. This has been a wonderful show. I have enjoyed it immensely. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, I must say, Yellow Card, like the sounds without this week. Go purchase it and visit benshane.com and emmawatson.us and MuggleNet.com.
Since when do you have a Emma Watson
for
website?
much fun.
Okay.
Since forever, man.
So that night,
who's better than me? Hey John, who's better than me? No one's better than me.
So that night when you wanted me to make an Emma Watson layout just for fun, you were going to use that for your own website and not tell me?
Yeah.
You little jerk.
That's serious. Okay, guys. I am Ben Shane.
I'm Eric Skull, but if I were a MuggleCast mix, I'd be at MuggleCast.com.
I'm Laura Thompson.
I'd be too cool for iTunes.
I'm MuggleNet Greg. MuggleNet Greg, also known as John
Thank you.
from Podcast.
Well, guys, stay around. Stay
J
around
for
after this
Greg.
recording for a little bit of the post-show. You get the pre-show earlier.
We didn't
Now
release
we're
the
talking
other
about the
Is
post-show.
this like Oprah?
I don't know.
Is this going to be on Oxygen?
I don't know. I don't know if we ever actually released the footage
Or
of
the
pre-show,
pre-show.
but we'll see.
Oh, I have that.
Okay.
The
Are we
post-show
gonna
was
put that in
Ben
the
with
show?
his shirt off running around the hotel room.
Yeah.
Special video podcast.
Yes.
That would be your screen.
Yeah.
That's actually my screensaver
I have a
right
copy
now.
of that too.
Is that a camera?
That's my screensaver.
Have a nice day.
Down.
Alright, cue the music.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to MuggleCast. This is our weekly Harry Potter discussion show where we read the latest.
No,
in Harry
seriously,
Potter
where's the
news,
music? You got
theories,
some better
discussions,
music
acne
live?
treatments,
Shut up, you
new
don't.
recipes.
Yeah, we do.
You do,
We
really?
have it all
Yeah.
here.
No
Welcome.
way.
This is episode
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. All right. I always thought of doing that, but then I was like, what's the point? No, we do it raw. This is
Hey,
raw
get this in the
audio.
mood.
All right. I'm Eric Skull.
It's going.
Shut up, Eric.
Eric Skull. Eric Skull Island.
I'm Liz, and I'm from Basic Romance. I was wondering, if I call you guys enough times, will you ever call me back?
Hi, this is Cleo. And I'm Zach from Oregon. We love your show. Yeah. Answer rock. Woo! Okay. Bye. Bye.
Hi, this is Elizabeth from Texas. I just wanted to tell you guys that I love your show. It saves me from my school life and from long car trips. So, thanks. Keep up the good work. Hi, MuggleCast. This is Lily from Massachusetts. I screamed when I heard my voice playing. I am proud to say I'm on the radio now. I feel so special. And to follow up on your question, my sister's 11, and she's not really in sync with the Potter world and everything. But it's really funny because I let her listen to the MuggleCast, episode, and so now she's always like, oh my god, let's go listen to MuggleCast. So you totally got her into that, and now she thinks you guys are like the greatest thing. And she thinks that all of you are really funny and that you're just the greatest. So thank you so much. Hugs for all of you, and yeah, have a happy day. Love from Lily, heart, love you, bye.
Hey, this is Taylor Newman from Eaton Rapids, Michigan. I'm sorry, Andrew, but Dumbledore is dead. I have to agree with the others. And he will talk to Harry again, but I'm sorry, he's dead. There's no way going back. Great job, love you, bye.
Streaming only on Peacock.
It's only the first day of school, and one of these four made it my last.
5 enter detention.
Jesus. I think he's breathing.
You want to help?
I'm calling 911.
4 come out alive.
Simon's dead.
They think one of us did it.
Based on the #1 New York Times bestseller.
What is a secret worth killing for?
Without Simon, you get to be valedictorian.
I'm not the perfect girl you think I am.
And you've never done a criminal thing in your life?
One of Us is Lying. A brand new series streaming only on Peacock.